It's your boy DK Bones again here with a little bit talking with Bones, episode 4. Uh, yeah, I think I do a little Friday the 13th um, stream. Not all of it, scary stuff or whatever, but figure I do a stream trying to get my hours in um, streaming or videos. So I'm trying to stream more, um, my hours for work. Don't kind of work sometimes, but anyways, let's get things started. Let's start off with, I guess, I didn't know this until yesterday afternoon. Um, Spaceballs 2. They're bringing Rick Moranis out of retirement. I didn't know Mel Brooks was still alive. Bill Pullman's return. Kiki Palmer is a cast. I'm not sure who she is, but yeah. It's an article out of Comic Book Movie News or comicbookmovie.com. Gosh. Some big news for fans of Mel Brooks' Spaceballs, as legendary actor director is set to return as Yogurt for the sequel, along with Bill Pullman and Rick Moranis. This real quick. I don't know how this movie will do with today's audience. Um, there's a lot of things in his movies don't back up with, or don't show. What's the words I'm going to use? They're baseball and a lot of his movies don't communicate with today's audience. So pretty sure this is going to be watered down some compared to what it was before. Anyways, the article goes on. Schwartz awakens in 2027. So we'll see how. I don't know. Brooks. Yes, today is right here. He turns 99 this month. So see if he'll survive. I hate to say it that way, but he's up in age. He must be drinking something to stay up to last this time. Anyway, Spaceball sequel that was officially announced last year is set a 2027 release. So if he's turning 99 this year, he'll be 101 when the movie comes out. And the legendary Mel Brooks turns 99 this month, set to reprise his role as Yoda. Send up your Brooks is the only original cast member to return, as the line reports the opponent. Rick Moranis, who will be coming out of retirement for the sequel, are also back aboard as Lone Star and Dark Knight. Kiki Palmer, one of those days, I'm not sure who she is, has joined the cast. Underscore. Excuse me 1 second. Our freaking kid's dog. Yeah. Sorry about that. Every time I'm online, my kids. Oh, what's up, Rockefeller? You wanna come on in? I sent you an invite. What's up, Raffle Ball Day? Anyways, sorry about that. The freaking kids. Every time I get on there, they freaking act like crazy animals, like having little kids. Oh, Rockefeller. Anyways, Brooks is the only original star. I already went over that. Yeah, I'm not sure. One of those, I guess he says she's on. An Amazon. Let's see if it. See if he comes on. See if that's link work. I'll keep going until I get some kind of alert. I guess. All right. Long-awaited follow-up to Brooks' spoof is development as Amazon MGM Studios with Josh Jad, Beauty and the Beast, and Wolf Like Me set to star and produce alongside Brooks. Josh Greenball will direct the film from a screenplay by Benji Samit, Dan Hernandez, and yeah, I remember. I forgot John Candy. John Candy was in it. Daphne Zuja as Princess Vespa. Miranda's revealed that he pitched to Brooks back in 2015. The proposed title Spaceballs 3, the sequel of Spaceballs 2. Nothing ever came of it, but in 2018, Brooks said that he would be releasing a new movie from Star Wars film and hope that Moranis will reprise his role. The legendary filmmaker said he soon liked the version of the movie to be called Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money. I didn't even know they were trying to. Oh, there he is. Here you go, Phil. What's up, man?
What's going on, brother? Good morning.
Good morning, man. You just wake up?
Yeah, about an hour ago. I'm getting up, getting around to it. Not just waking up, but on the horizon.
Okay.
Not up all night like you. That's for sure.
Yeah. I figured I'd do a quick stream before I hit the site.
Did I miss out on the Spaceballs talk already?
No, I'm still going over it.
Good.
I didn't even know they were doing one. I didn't know there were talks about it back then, 2013.
I had no idea they were talking about it back then either, but they kept this announcement very secretive. I don't know if this is something they just came up with, but they shot it out there, and
right.
I was like, wow, this announcement was spur of the moment. I like it.
Well, I heard when they were doing the second Ghostbusters sequel, the Frozen Empire or whatever, that they try to get Rick Moranis to come back for that, but he said he was going to wait for another something else. They didn't specify what he was waiting for.
Well, he hasn't been acting in a long time, and the last thing I've really seen him do was he did the phone commercial with Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
And besides that, the only time I saw him in the spotlight was when he got hit by a random pedestrian in New York City. You remember that?
No, I didn't see that.
So he's he got out of the spotlight, I guess, because like his wife died and he wanted
because of his kid. His wife died. Yeah, right. I remember that.
So what made him pop back up in the spotlight was he was walking down New York City, and I guess a random pedestrian just walked up and started punching people, and he happened to hit Rick Moranis. Like, what the hell?
Oh, wow.
And then when he popped up, that's like right around the time he was getting so much search on the internet. I guess Ryan Reynolds was hired him for that phone commercial, so people kept looking his name up. That would pop up instead of the damn court case. So he doesn't really want to act. So getting him back for this, that's going to be hard. This is one of the biggest roles he's known for. This is a funny role, but getting him back for this, they couldn't get him back for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids or Ghostbusters, getting them back for this is going to be a hard sell.
Right. Yeah. What's his face going over this article? He's 90. He'll turn 99 next month.
He turns how old?
Mel Brooks turns 99 next month.
Holy shit! He was moving pretty spry in that
Yeah.
in that announcement trailer for 99. He seemed like
Yeah,
really, like, spunky
I just
still,
saw
you know?
it.
He was- yeah.
Right.
Are you gonna play it on here for everybody?
So yeah, he's yeah, I was gonna where is it at? It's in here somewhere. Maybe it's what is on here? Hold on, let me refresh it. So weird. It was just on there.
Kiki Palmer
I
joins the
freaking,
cast. You know what that shows me? If that's a DEI initiative, you know who this is made by, right? If you haven't heard it yet, Amazon.
It's yeah.
It's an Amazon. So that's the only thing that scares me when I'm like, they just doing a random black chick that, like, Kiki Palmer, I guess, is a comedian. You
Yeah.
kind of say, but
To check the box or whatever. Yes,
Yeah,
Amazon.
the way that tip the scales, you know what I mean? That right there, it's on Amazon. It kind of gives me a
Right.
when they're doing this. And what's the other one that we saw earlier? Was it Naked Gun? No, that wasn't what it was. What the hell was the one? Was it Naked Gun? The remake they're doing with fucking Liam Neeson? Isn't that Naked Gun?
Yeah. Well, he's kind of out there too, though.
Yeah, it's these remakes
Thought
of
it was
these
on
comedies that were 80s comedies and, you know, fell off in the early 90s are going to be hard to pull off now because people aren't going to see them as funny. If you watch the Chappelle Show, it's hilarious as shit when it came out. Nowadays, people will say it's what they call cringe. You know, it's a different kind of
Right.
style of humor, and to pull this off is going to
Right.
be difficult.
It's
I'll
gonna
give it
take
that.
yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. This sense of humor they had back then, they can't use.
No.
They can't use it like what we were back in the day, man. It's a hard sell. Now they say forget it because, I mean, all that stuff that they remake comedies, it's not the same. Like Beverly Hills Cop that Eddie Murphy did, it wasn't watered down compared to what the original was.
1978 Superman. When me and Sci-Fax watched that last week, and with me, Sci-Fax, and Abe watched it. It was a different world 50 years ago. Lois Lane, when they put down a woman for not being able to spell, for being stupid because she couldn't spell, she would take her cigarette out and light it up right there in the office. He'd be like, "Whoa, you can put women down and call them stupid," and then they just light up cigarettes and get over it.
Right.
It's like it was a completely different world.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's not how we live now.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you'd be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." Try to get away with something like that might be a little bit different.
I can't. It's popping up on that. It
was
on there when I. Yeah, 80s comedy, 70s, 80s, 90s. Beginning of 2000s was even.
Yeah, up until about 2000s.
Yeah,
Dave Chappelle was early 2000s, right? I think it was like 2001, maybe 2002.
Yeah.
That, you know,
it was all the Me Too crap.
I want to go back with see what year it was for the first person to say at a joke bar, be like, "That's offensive." Wait, what? I want to go back to see what year that was, DK. For the first year, like 2015, when somebody said a joke, you'd be like, "Excuse me, that's offensive." What? All right, then
right.
leave.
Yeah.
What year did that start?
I don't know. Oh, here's the clip.
Here we go.
I'll take the.
Take the music off. Yeah, I like this. 30 years ago, they kind of can on like the way Hollywood's been going. So there's been a prequel, a sequel trilogy, a prequel trilogy. They start going off and like all the remakes they've done, kind of questioning why they haven't done a remake themselves. You know, why haven't we done one remake and everybody in Hollywood's done a remake of everything, anything? So I get that.
Right.
I wish they would have sprinkled in a little bit of footage from the original one, Because I mean, I would assume they still have the rights. When you buy the rights to the second movie, you should be able to do that, right? I don't know if he bought the rights to the first movie.
No, I think Amazon owns all of MGM and all that.
So why wouldn't they pepper in a little bit at the beginning to kind of remind people what this movie was, or better yet, show people who haven't seen it, get an idea for it, because that kind of scares me. They're going to do their own course correction and try not to do anything like the first one. But this right here is how the first one was. It rolled out in the same kind of way.
Yeah. Oh, there he
is. There he is. What do the fans want? But instead, we're making this movie. May the shorts be with you.
I was hoping he'd do like, may the Schwartz be with you.
For 99,
but yeah,
I mean, he's obviously
he looks good.
He's moving and he's doing his over the top, and may the Schwartz be with you. I'm like, wow, he's 99.
Yeah, he still sounds the same, man. He still
sounds based. He still sounds funny. He still sounds exuberant, excited. Right. So, I mean, if he's a part of it, which I don't know how much he can, I don't know if they're just going to utilize his IP or if he's actually going to be a part of it. That's what scares me. Amazon is known to buy these IPs and they have nothing to do with it.
Right.
Rings of Power.
Right.
That was not even the Lord of the Rings. So they're just buying this for the name.
No.
Using him for an announcement and then doing their own writing. So I need some more about it.
Yeah, I don't. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens because I don't even know if they're.
I'm 100% interested.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just got to sell me right now.
Right. But move on to the next topic. I saw this coming. I did my stream. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I knew this was going to happen as soon as they put it on stream. I guess it was like 2 days ago. Freaking, where is it? They're up there saying that it's the streaming hit after its box office. Freaking Snow White. I knew they were going to. Everybody want to see how bad the movie is.
Becomes instant streaming hit after $205 million box office disappointment. You know what? This is fucking hilarious because I watched this yesterday. Obviously, I didn't go see this damn thing in the theaters, but because I have Disney Plus DK and it came up, I even tweeted. I said, "What am I about to do? I don't know why I'm doing this. It's 4:30 in the morning, and I'm popping this on when I'm getting ready for work." I was pleasantly surprised. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's Timo version of Wicked, I would assume. I haven't seen Wicked yet, but for all the hate it got online, it probably didn't deserve as much. It wasn't that bad. There was like one song in it that was like not good. I think the song there was one song that definitely wasn't good. The song with the witch, whatever her name, Gal Gadot, her first song. She could have done a lot better acting in that. Yeah, Rachel Zegler makes a funny face. She looks whatever. In one part, you probably seen the whole Medulla Shock thumbnails before. But besides all that, like cliche stuff, I was really surprised. Some of the songs are good. I woke up singing the song last night. I was like, is that the song? Oh my God, I was singing that. Like, it's pretty good, man. So this isn't bad. I mean, again, nobody went to the theater to see it. I mean, but when you're watching on Disney Plus, they're paying $10 a month for, I guarantee this has become people like, wow, this is bumped up a lot. I can see why.
Yeah, I think it's because people are expecting it to be really bad, and it's better than what they expect, kind of a thing. Because they do the same thing with when you. Yeah, once they do the same thing with movies, they think they're going to be really good, and then you're like, the movie was like, all right, it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be.
So I don't want to spoil it, but you know how like in the one interview she says, so we got a dude in the movie who's, he's some people say he's the prince. He may or may not get cut. Who knows? He's a really cool dude. Weird. Remember that interview, how she said that? It's like, why would you even say that when you go watch the movie? He's a fucking prince. Or he's not a prince. He's like her love interest. He's definitely her love interest, DK. So she went out of her way to make it like he's not the love interest. It wasn't reshoots, right? And remember how they said like the woodland creature guys were supposed to be the dwarves? They were never supposed to be the fucking dwarves. They were complete other cats that meet up with the dwarves to show her like that's like his crew that the dudes she falls in love with. So when you watch, it's like, whoa, when you heard all the online discourse, one, it was incorrect. And two, it kind of turned people away from it. Now that you got it, I would say turn it on and watch the first 10 minutes of how her, like she came and grew up and got into the castle. You'd be like, okay, I see a Rock saying this is not as bad as the costumes. Fantastic. Whoever did the costume department, fantastic.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, I can see this.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out when I'm nothing to do.
Exactly. I had nothing to do yesterday.
Because there's a lot of stuff like I want to watch. And I'm like, I know this thing's gonna people are gonna watch the heck out of it the next month. So, and then I saw this on Screen Rant. And I was like, yep. Hearing stuff on Screen Rant, it's a different thing. But I knew people were gonna watch it.
Yeah. I think my little nephew watched it yesterday when I was able to do it. I was talking to him. He's like, have you watched this yet? I said, actually, I watched this morning. So if he did watch it, that'd be two people that watched it. Again, that's because you got the streaming service. It's easier to do than get up and go somewhere and pay for it.
Go somewhere, yeah. And then you're not paying $20-something to go see a movie. You're not sure you want to. You're not sure if you want to pay to see that, and especially with all the backlash. I think it wasn't just a movie, but she didn't do this movie any favors by saying all the stupid stuff she was saying. And
everything
then all
she said was not only incorrect too, but was bad press for it. Like when she was talking about there might not be a love interest in there. There was a love interest when she was like, like being all like she needs to be the woman. She's fair, brave, honest, and true, and she knows she can be. And trying to sound like she's like a girl boss moment. That's like the key thing that her dad gave her and put on the locket for her necklace. So she was trying to like give parts of the movie away, but not spoil it, but was spoiling it, but made it sound like she was a girl boss. And it's like if somebody her PR was bad. If she would have just said, you know what? I'd like for people to go see the movie and think, come up for with themselves. It's supposed to be a good time, and I hope that's what it is. Done.
And then she's and then she put all the political stuff in there, and I'm like,
then put political aspects into it. But when you watch this movie, you can say, okay, this part right here, where she's sitting here singing, this isn't the best singing, but it's sure far from the worst. And I can see why somebody hired her right here because I think she really sings this part, and she's trying to spit it out of her lungs, and she's like, when she's singing the movie, obviously she's lip syncing, but she's sang it, a track to overdo it, and it looks like in the movie she's actually performing it. Wow, so maybe she's doing a good job right here. I'll give it that. I haven't seen Wicked, but I guarantee it's a Timo version of it. It's not as bad as we heard it was. Give it a chance.
But I still can't see her Snow White, man. I mean, looks like I don't know. I think
like right there, that picture, that's the mostly picture. This black chick right here, she's literally in it for no other reason because she was the love interest for one of the white midgets, and if we don't put her in this scene right here, we kind of don't see her besides when her and the white midget get married at the end. So this scene right here is just to make sure. Oh shit, we forgot about. We should probably make a picture with them to be like, who the fuck is this girl again? Oh, that's right, she's one of their friends. That's about it.
Okay.
So it's funny that you use this picture. Be like, who's this chick? Oh yeah, that's the Peter Dinklage's fucking love interest.
Yeah. I think she might have did her career end though, man. Honestly think
she's not a box office draw, but then again, what is? PR is very
nowadays,
To be a PR, I think Gal Gadot was doing it perfect. She was sitting there looking pretty, just twiddling her fingers. And when she said, Gal Gadot kind of said it too. She's not going to be saved by the prince. I give it to Gal Gadot. You know what? Yes, she is. You know what? It's like she was. She's fucking. The prince kisses her, brings her out of the damn fucking magical fucking spell. So I guess she is. Or she's not getting saved by a prince, but she gets by a knight in shining armor. Her knight in shining armor. He might not be a damn knight, that's anointed. But it's hers.
Well, they said the kiss was kind of cringe too, the way they kissed or whatever.
Well,
is that true?
I don't know if it's he kind of like, she's laying there and he kind of kisses her. I was wondering how they're gonna do it too. He kind of like he goes and kisses her forehead first, and then kind of like like
Right.
stops and like is like kind of like sad she's gone, and then goes and kisses her. And you gotta think about like, yeah, why would you kiss like how would you do that? She's dead. How would you kiss a dead body? You know what I mean? So it's like,
Right.
and
Right.
it's for Disney to try to make it look for
I get that.
kids. It's not as bad as it could be. She's supposed to be dead, so I mean, it could be worse, but
Okay.
I give it a 7. I'm gonna give it a high 6, right around 7.
You give it a high 6? Yeah.
High 6, right around
Oh, I'll
7.
I'll have to check it out. And know what
We
I
look right
think.
there, 3.5 out of 4, 3.5 out of 5, 3.5, double that. That's a 7. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna lie with that. I was like, it's probably a 6.8, maybe a 7. I don't know. I'd watch it again.
No.
So if it has rewatchability, that has a lot to go into factor into me. I would watch it again.
Oh
And I'm
gosh,
sure
man.
little kids
All
out
right.
there, if they like the music is really good in it. So they probably be like, I forget the song now, but yeah, I can see this being a hit.
Okay. All right. Well, that's my news on Snow White streaming.
Check it out.
I'll
Prove us
keep on
wrong.
checking it out. Yeah, I will check it out, man.
All right.
I did see also talking about Disney freaking the Thunderbolts. And I guess
what about-
officially they're saying it's just saying that it's officially a flop. They're coming out saying that it's a flop.
Well,
Well, they said it's a massive bomb.
and they went out of their way to tell us they're going to be an Avengers Endgame, and now they're saying it's a massive flop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Well, it's not out of Cosmic Book News, but the main deadline won't say this, but everybody knew. I heard it was a good movie. I mean, I heard it was a decent movie, but a lot of people go to the theaters because of the mistakes Marvel's been doing the past 4 years. They're tired of seeing, I guess, girls bosses. I guess.
Yeah, well, I saw a good video on YouTube yesterday. This girl. I need to find out what it is. I'll send it to you. But this is the girl made it saying that Marvel took the hero out of superheroes. They added this girl boss, like snappy, like attitude. But like our heroes, like they learned something. Captain would get beat up and like lose friends. He would lose his pride. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Captain. I mean, Iron Man was a damn drunk. He was an alcoholic who was, getting over the fact that his parents were gone. He couldn't relate to anybody because he was a billionaire, was crazy intelligent, and he had mental issues. I mean, real ones. With Bucky the same way. They won't do that now. Everybody's a girl boss. Everybody's in control of themselves. They'll learn all these hard acrobatic stunts in the snap of a finger. Boom, powers. I don't even have to learn these powers. I just got them. I can use them. Let's go. It's like that's not how it works,
Yeah, you take the thing is they take in like like you said, yeah, you don't build a character up, they're all automatic and stuff. Male character, regular superheroes, it takes some trials and tribulations to get the powers they have. But yeah, I don't know. There's no reason for what they did after Endgame. Now they're reaping what they sowed, I guess. But
let me ask you a question. Would you rather them remove Thunderbolts? Because I heard they're not adding fucking Eternals. Eternals will not be showing up in Secret Wars or Doomsday. I would rather they get rid of these losers.
Well, it's kind of stupid.
Which is kind of stupid, and put them Eternals back into it. Make Eternals a bigger part because that can connect into a larger universe that you don't have to use right away. But X-Men are cosmic too. It can be. And you can continue that Avengers storyline on next to the X-Men into I don't know why they aren't using Eternals. Eternals, their characters were fleshed out better than some of these morons right here. Any of these characters besides Elaine or Bucky.
Well, like you said, it doesn't make any sense because they use the in Captain America, Brave New World, those countries are fighting over the what do you call it? What's from Eternals?
Celestial Island.
So
adamantium.
Yeah,
Celestial Island fighting over adamantium, and I'm like, wait a minute, you're gonna show a 15-minute clip where they're fighting at sea right around this big ass hand sticking out called adamantium. The whole movie's based on Celestial Island. And you're not even going to talk about the Celestials or the Eternals and Avengers.
Right.
We just had that not even 2 movies ago. One in that one, literally Thunderbolts, and then the movie before that. So how are you going to just completely sideline that completely?
Right.
What was Phase 4 for then?
I don't know. That's the whole thing. Is like it doesn't all add up.
No, it doesn't. You could have kept Yelena Belova from Black. You could have done Black Widow. Skipped all them fucking movies. Came right to fucking made it Captain America 4 with just hell, they didn't have to make Captain America 4 with fucking Winter Soldier and Captain America the TV show. He's already took the mantle up. I mean, so all this other shit we've been buying has basically been worth nothing. We gave you all money for you. Not only did we give you money, but you lost it. It's been for nothing.
Yeah, that's what people are saying, and there's no wonder. Like, I think what's the name is doomed at the theaters next month. Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four it's looking like it's got a lot of shoulders. There's no comparison between that and Superman right now. Superman's gonna blow it out the water, so I don't even want to hear those. But Fantastic Four needs to be something that we haven't, that they haven't been doing, and it isn't going to. It's going to be nothing different. It's going to be nothing different. When they came out and said Sue Storm's going to be leader, just like Nerd Gary said it. This isn't the Thunderbolts movie. This is the Yelena Belova movie, right? This isn't going to be a Fantastic Four movie. This is going to be a Sue Storm movie.
Sue Storm and Silver Surfer, female Silver Surfer.
Sue Storm, Silver Surfer, and then the other 3 guys we peppered in there for special effects.
Yeah, like sidekicks.
That's what.
And that's not how Fantastic Four. Yeah, Fantastic Four wasn't like that in the comics. And their best attempt when the first 2 Fantastic Four with Jessica Alba, it was mainly a team effort when they were fighting Doctor Doom and the Cloud Galactus. But yeah, this is, I don't know. It's not a big shock for this. No. And I'm not going to be shocked.
Disney is a girl brand. It's for young boys, families, and basically girls any age brand. So this is what they do. They buy these teen boy, but they don't gear them towards men. They did it first or tried to. They worked fantastic, But once they got that notoriety and all that money, they didn't need to do that anymore, and they tried to reverse it. I don't hear a lot of women talking about. I can't wait to see the next Marvel movie. It's all everybody that me and you talk to is probably a guy, and we're all trying to spend money on. If there's gonna be a woman, we're gonna bring them with us. Daughters, wives. That's how it's gonna happen.
When I used to take my daughter to see them, and they're not even interested anymore.
That's probably why. Snow White failed. Why would they go see Snow White when they've seen the same Snow White trope right here in Thunderbolts, except it was a little bit more mature and she wasn't singing? Girls don't want to see this female empowerment bullshit in everything they're doing. If this was a real Thunderbolts, like dudes, testosterone, fuel driven, they would have went to see Snow White, the counter opposite of that, and it would have done buku numbers. And we would, and other people would have saw this. So you need to have the yin to the yang. But Disney's not doing that. Everything they're gearing towards is for Disney princesses.
Oh no, not just that. They're trying to create an audience for this, and the audience they're looking for aren't coming to the movies for. They're not even interested. A lot of females out there want to be saved by a strong man. They're not going to admit it, but a lot of them, that's what they want. Yep. So they don't want to see women take that role, and then a man just be a little sissy.
And it's not a bad story if you want to tell that, but it's don't be scared to tell the original story, what you just said, a woman being saved. And that's what's pretty cool about Snow White. They don't want to push it, but the guy does kiss a girl, and I'm like, oh, well, it's not a forehead. I was like, oh, it's just a forehead kiss, like Sci-Fi said. But then he actually kisses her on the lips. I'm like, okay. And there's a love aspect, but they're not selling.
But it did. But it did work back. You remember Alien and Aliens?
Mm-hmm.
Like Ripley, she was kind of a girl boss, but she was still feminine. She still knew her place in certain things. It wasn't like thrown down in your face, like, oh snap, she's been through the trauma of the first Alien, and then when Aliens comes in, all those people she's up there trying to tell the guy what she wasn't trying to be how they are now, but it worked then. People want to go see it. It's different. Yeah, but
Elena is the problem. They rug pulled us twice for this chick, and that's what people are a lot upset with this for. The first one, Black Widow, it wasn't a Black Widow movie. It was a Elena movie.
Yeah, I
it was
agree
like
with
her
that.
movie. And then this is Elena Part 2, which is fine. She's a good character. I'm not going to say she's not a good character. She is. But when you market something like Thunderbolts, not everybody got the chance. Sentry part was good, but he wasn't part of it's we didn't need this. It's something. It's just for them to try to pull a veil over top of our face, call it Thunderbolts, because that's what men would want. They're trying to get our money because they know who the market is, right? So they're trying to get the money from the men, but they're rug pulling it once we get in there and be like, same with Fantastic Four. That's just why they did the damn ticket sales right before Superman ticket sales came out. And then 2 days later, after they did all them ticket sales, what they say? Then they came out with the news that this is going to be a Sue Storm led film. After all the ticket sales.
Yeah, but it's still a couple, like in my area, you still can, they didn't sell a lot of tickets down here for.
No, for the Fantastic Four?
No, but Superman,
No.
I went
Superman
to buy my
I went
to buy my ticket.
numbers. And the best part about that is you have to have a damn subscription to do it. You have to pay to do it. You're not just going to like, okay, I'll be the first one to buy one of these tickets. No, you have to spend money to acquire the ability to spend money to get the ticket. So it's like, oh, wow, shit. Superman, it's blowing out the park, this thing.
And I think another
she was just a woman doing her best. I understand that, but I wish that Marvel would stop falsely marketing.
Well, not just
Widow. Black Widow, I guess would be good, but this, Black Widow, I can't say because she is a Black Widow. So I'm like, oh, they introduced a new Black Widow, but then it's like, well, you go to Thunderbolts. Well, is this Avengers? And if you think of Thunderbolts, Bucky was like the leader, and it's a way for them to just try to insert her as a main character. That's all.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all. Get that at all. It's stupid because you had, like you said, you had Bucky, his Winter Soldier. When he was in Winter Soldier, he almost killed Cap, and now he just seems like a little wuss now.
Yeah, he's been crucified. He's been demasculinized. Definitely.
Yeah, it makes
he was written one way by good people, and then other people got their hands on it, and he was demasculinized. Definitely.
Yeah,
I'm a senator really now, and he's trying to act like he's a Democratic senator that's always on his side of history. It's like, oh my goodness, Bucky was not Democrat. You kidding me?
All right. I don't know if you know much about the Midnight Suns with Blade and
the game.
Here, no, it's part of the comic. Here, I'll show you.
Okay, yeah, they had a game out too recently. I was like, me, I'm always going to video games.
But yeah, the Midnight Suns, MCU Midnight Suns, consist of it.
Oh, they're gonna actually do this? The Midnight Suns thing?
Yeah, they're saying Blade's not gonna be the leader. Ghost Rider is gonna be the leader.
Well, I bet because Blade, who they were going to have, Mahershala Ali, was tired of seeing them waiting around and doing nothing because they were hiring all these TV shows that didn't need to be streamlined and filmed and had this great actor to make this good movie that all these people wanted. And instead, they're watering down the product by making Miss Marvel that nobody asked for, or Miss Marvel the movie. What the hell was that called? The Marvels. He was been around since like 2017. I want to say probably earlier than that. He signed up.
No. I forget when it was, but yeah, they did a whole big at Comic-Con what was coming out, and they pushed it all back, and I don't know if they're trying to revisit or what, but
when you sign
right now it's not getting made.
Yeah, when you sign his
it was supposed to come out this year. It was supposed to come out this year.
Think about that. So I think it was almost 8 years ago he signed a contract. And when you sign these contracts, it's like, look, we're gonna make this movie within, let's say, 10 years, DK, and it's guaranteed it's gonna make at least $1 million. That's how much you're gonna make. So you start thinking to yourself, all right, well, I'm making $100,000 a year for every minimum per year for the next a decade because it's going to come out, right? This movie never fucking
Right.
even gets shown. He doesn't even get fucking appearance fees for going places to promote it because there is no promotion for the
Right.
damn thing. So
Right.
he's having to stop taking other jobs as well because I don't know when this thing's filming. I need to be a main character. I need to stop and drop whatever I'm doing. Hell no. And eventually, there's stipulations in the contract where you're saying, I'm not doing this. And he had to walk away because they took too long on it. I went to look at this. Scarlet Scarab. I knew she'd be in it.
Yeah, well, this is the yeah, these are the ones that Tom up putting in. These are the original ones from the comics: Ghost Rider, Blade, Morpheus, Doctor Strange, Werewolf Knight, Hannibal King, and Jennifer Kill. I don't know who Jennifer Kill is. But then they're talking about putting Wong in it, Moon Knight, Ghost Rider, Blade, Werewolf by Night, Man Thing, Black Knight, Scarlet, Elsa Bloodstone, Doctor Strange, and even Agatha.
So did you watch that the Werewolf by Night presentation?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's who Elsa Bloodstone and Man Thing are in. They were in it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so I mean, Man Thing would be cool. Elsa Bloodstone, yeah, I can see her being part of it. You know, but that'd give them their girl boss moment. I would go with Moon Knight. I thought Moon Knight was good enough, and Oscar Isaac could definitely be the forerunner. Yeah. I would go with Moon Knight. And Wong he's a cheap actor. They don't want to they want to put in there.
But put in, you're right.
Do with it. Yeah, Doctor Strange is something that I'd save Wong money and put Doctor Strange in there. Benedict Cumberbatch. If you're gonna make a real movie, I'd put Oscar Isaac. You know, if you're not gonna have Blade, Man Thing, Scarlet Scarab chick, she's from Moon Knight, and Elsa Bloodstone, you could do something with that, and then have some kind of good storyline in there. Ghost Rider should be maybe introduced, but not really part of the team, you know, because he's not part.
I think they're going to. Well, I think they're trying to do. Here it says that he might be introduced in Doomsday, Ghost Rider.
Really?
Yeah, but my thing is like, these are this right here, this what they're talking about doing right now. This should have been done way before Doomsday came out, so you would have had all these characters to use.
The
people have known about them.
Loki season 2. We didn't need that. We didn't need Loki season. We didn't even know this. You know, but this, if you're gonna be doing that, Loki season 2 should never been. Miss Marvel should never been. What was the last show we just got? Oh, Ironheart. You know what's the next
coming out?
After that, Wonder Man. So right now, instead of Ironheart, we should be getting Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Or this, you know, this TV show, something that people actually want. You know, and then when they know what they're doing. They screwed the pooch.
Well, no, they're doing it backwards now. How DC did. They're doing everything as backwards now. They're not on any kind of schedule, and they're trying to get people's attention when they lost it with all the, like you said, all the crap after 2019. I mean, the people still were interested in like Winter Soldier and Falcon and Winter Soldier, but when you start putting out garbage like She-Hulk, I mean, they made her look
for She-Hulk, and like when I heard about it, I was like, dude, it's gonna be comic booky as shit. She's gonna be like fourth walling, you know, she's gonna look.
Right.
And then when what we got, I was like, this is not what me being a comic book fan and just thinking what I could do with that. And then like where it ended up, just being like, wow, what the fuck? I know they had time restraints and budget issues. I don't want to hear that crap. That's nothing but like what it should have been. Nothing like what should have been.
No, they screwed up a lot of things, and they even talked about I forget the name of the team with Silver Surfer, and it was a lot of Galactus people with superpowers. They talked about doing a show or movie for that, but I'm like, you guys are too late. You know, all these characters you're talking about that you have comic books to go back and use to talk about them. You're not doing it. Nope. It's too late. You're trying to create all these other characters that people don't know about and don't care about, and you lost a huge fan base. You lost
And they had
trust.
their goal. Like the first goal was we all knew what the goal was. Thanos is coming. He's trying to form the gauntlet.
Right.
And now they have no goal. What's the goal? To grab
Yeah, you don't even know it.
Celestial Isle? No. Well, Doctor Doom's coming for what? To grab adamantium from Celestial Isle? To stop the Sentry Thunderbolts again? For what?
Yeah.
He's not going to stop the Eternals from trying to take over the planet. That's for sure. From Galactus not entering the universe because the Fantastic Four ran away from him for what? It's like there's no main spearhead that's going towards.
Well, I thought after they snapped their fingers the second time in Endgame, I thought that was a prime time for them to introduce the X-Men. Like you could have introduced them then. And
they had rights issues to where I don't think they were able to incorporate X-Men into like movies until I think 2027. I think that when they bought the merger, I think that they're allowed to like utilize characters but they're not allowed to make an actual X-Men film with X-Men characters. So that's why they've been had Beast in the end credit. They can utilize them for a certain amount of time, but they can't make actual X-Men films, I think, until 2027. If I remember that correctly. It might be 2026, but there's some kind of stipulation in the merger contract allowing them not to make X-Men.
It must be next year because it must be next year movie. Well, they're going to be in Doomsday. They're going to be in Doomsday.
They were slowly peppering them in because they can't do a full X-Men movie until I think 2027. So that's why they're next year they're going to heavily start incorporating them. Last year with Deadpool and Wolverine, we saw that one chick, Professor X's sister, was the main character, and Wolverine came back. We started seeing them like a few of them in there, but not like actual X-Men characters until an X-Men movie is about to come out next in 2027.
All right. Well, I know that. Let me close this one out. All right.
Something like that. Some kind of legal jargon behind the scenes.
Well, anything my personal thing is Disney needs to sell Marvel and they need to sell Star Wars.
Who would they sell it to? Sony? If they sold it to Sony, I'd be happy with that.
Nah. I don't know. Sony's been screwing stuff up too, though, man.
They've been screwing stuff up in the movie department. I'll give them that. But I mean, then they would own the entire Spider-Man catalog. They'd have control of the games, which they don't have control of right now. And they could utilize it because people would start coming over to Sony to try to be more creative because they'd have more creative freedom than they would at Disney.
Right.
They'd be able to hire on better directors and a better manager to be like, hey, look at Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That's one of the best cartoon trilogies going to be to date because somebody went to Amy Pascal and was like, this is my structure. This is what I want to do. If you allow us the time, the money to do it. And we did. Disney
That's true.
That. No, you got 6 months to do this fucking animation. You got 12 months to finish the product. Hell no. Yeah. They're a format, So something like when you say it first, like, nah, man, they've been bombing. Well, that's because nobody's been going there to make the money. Disney's been dangling money over here. Come here. Yeah. Netflix, if you're a small person, you really want a lot of money, go to Netflix. But Sony has the cash to back them to where if they got the Spider-Man and Marvel universe together.
What about Apple?
But no, you can't sell it to somebody that's going to be a paid product like that, like a paid service. Apple will try to put it on a paid wall, and it only be on Apple products. And then you can't. It's got to be a worldwide accessible product.
Right.
So to either, that's why I said Sony because they're into the marketing to the entire world.
Okay.
You got to think of somebody that's got to be films, gaming, and into marketing to the entire world. You don't want Amazon to do it because it'll be.
Yeah. Well, they did fire the one girl that was responsible of Rings of Power and what was that other stupid thing that Amazon did?
I want to call it Jen Psaki, but that's not her name. That's her fucking. That's the House Secretary. I know you're talking.
No, but they got rid of like earlier this year because it was because of the James Bond stuff. The Broccoli.
Yeah,
female Broccoli and told the owner of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, that how she felt, and then he had sent out a message to people that wanted her gone, and she was fired or let go or whatever. So they laid her off.
Bezos got butthurt.
He's probably saw how much money he lost with freaking Rings of Power, and heard
it was a vanity project. That wasn't Rings of Power. Like, you know, if you would have fucking done what you were supposed to with it, not made it a vanity project to try to promote female empowerment, that probably would have been an awesome franchise because the visuals on it are pretty damn good.
We're good. Yeah. And then I gave the first season a chance. But I didn't finish it because I saw where it was going. I'm like, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
And my sister, she was like, "Oh, that's a good show." I'm like, "That show sucked." I was so mad, man. I was like, I thought I was leading somewhere. The guys all seemed like they were wusses or whatever. Not all of them, but it was like the girls were in control of everything. I'm like, what the hell is this, man?
Yeah, that's one of the ones where everybody, if you heard negative stuff about it, it was absolutely true.
Yeah, it was horrible. But anyways, today's Friday the 13th, and this is one of my favorite series. I saw this on Screen Rant, and I was like, Twilight Zone. I used to watch the reruns. I'm not this old, but I remember watching the movie. I think that was in the 80s, early 80s. Dan Aykroyd was in it. But the show, I guess they're talking about the twisted endings of some of these shows, and it made me think. Back then, I'm like, man, these people have some twisted minds, man. But
I got a 9.5 out of 10.
Twilight Zone. I don't know where you can stream it, but if you want to watch something you're chilling at home, it's not. I mean, you gotta turn your brain off for some of it because it's old stuff. You're gonna be like, that's kind of corny right there, but you think you gotta go with the mindset of it. You know,
it's a movie.
This is back.
This is when they had practical effects and special effects. So just like in Psycho, when you see the silhouette of the knife come up like, it's like you understand what's going on. You know, just when this Superman trailer comes up, that's the worst CGI flying I've ever seen. Oh my God, give it a break.
I said, well, a lot of it. Well, a lot of those people that are saying that, they're freaking Snyder fans, and I like Man of Steel, and I actually like Batman versus Superman. I'm one of those people, you know. I was trying to give it a chance, but these people aren't even giving new Superman a chance. But anyways, But yeah, if you're gonna watch you want to watch some crazy stuff from back in the day, I figure it's Friday the 13th. I probably won't be able to watch any of these tonight. But check it out. I don't know where it's streaming though. I gotta figure out where it's streaming.
Are you a Friday the 13th movie fan?
Jason. The first I want to say the first three.
I don't know.
Like it was.
I like the one where the boxer was in it, and he's like, "Come on, motherfucker!" He started going to him, like, "Put on a box." You know what I'm talking about? He's like on a rooftop. I don't know what it's called.
Oh yeah. Was that the one in New York?
Yeah.
That was the one in New York.
He like hits him. He's like, "Oh, this dude's beating Jason Nash." Jason Turner goes and knocks his head off. His head goes flying over the top of the hill. And hits a garbage can. The garbage can goes and it shuts on. I was like, "That's awesome, bro." Probably my favorite Friday the 13th there is.
But I figured, let me see if it.
Ever get a sign the universe is trying to tell?
I always get these freaking ads, man.
I'll have to get that scene for YouTube and chill tonight. Speaking of Friday the 13th, here's my favorite scene. The boxer coming in like whipping his ass. Like, yeah, get him. He turned around, just hit him one time. His head falls off.
If I didn't have to work tonight, I definitely would jump on.
Absolutely. I know it is, man. It's a little late, but I'm going to send Cyfax when he's going to be up in the mountains. I'm going to see if he can get some connection and jump onto his mobile.
Let me see. It's like corny, but.
Welcome to Screen Rant. The Twilight Zone is recognized as one of the greatest sci-fi series of all time, but few know that its origin is tied to a notorious real-life murder. In the 1960s, the series featured stories of paranoia, social fear, and horror with memorable episodes like Nightmare at 20,000 Feet and To Serve Man.
I remember this with my dad, To Serve Man. I'm like, why's that guy? I thought it was more comical than anything else at first, and then I'm like, this thing is kind of crazy, man.
Is it a fucking alien?
Yeah,
Disturbed man. It's an alien like like what the hell? Nightmare
yeah,
20,000 feet.
yeah. But I mean, this is what they had back then. But they
Series
have
stood
radio.
out for effectively integrating politics and social commentary. Rod Serling, creator of The Twilight Zone, believed that television should be a medium for social activism. In an interview, he stated that the role of the writer is to be a threat to public conscience and to view the arts as a vehicle for social criticism. This vision was key to the series' success.
Yeah, so even I don't know if they're still doing that right now. They're trying with social issues right now, but people are so radical now.
Yeah.
They're not subtle about anything.
No, yeah.
They're just throwing it in.
Somebody mentioned that the other day. They were like, I think it was T. He said they don't put that in there now because they fear that people like will rise up, you know?
Right.
For a great example, that speech from Andor with all these riots going on, I've seen that thing reposted and posted and reposted and posted so many times. The speech from Andor,
Right.
it's like, put me in a brick and launch me at the railroad. Like, oh my God, I'm just tired of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So scared to have any kind of repercussions from it.
Yeah.
But the true inspiration came from the kidnapping and murder of a black teenager in Mississippi in the 1950s. In 1955, Emmett Till, a 14-year-old boy, was kidnapped and murdered after being accused of whistling at a white woman. Despite having witnesses, an all-white jury acquitted the accused. This injustice shocked the United States and fueled the civil rights movement. Serling was so...
Yeah, I remember that. Well, I remember reading about it in school.
Was that him? What is? I don't know if we go back, Mike. Again, but his face was all messed up. Was that him after the beating, or
after being accused of whistling at a white woman? Despite having witnesses, an all-white jury acquitted the accused. This injustice.
Right there. Is that like him? Like, is that a dead body, or is that like him after like a beating? Did he live, or let's see what it says.
Yeah.
Were lynched for marrying white women on just the word of the lowest white prostitute that she had been insulted. Mothers and wives were raped, lynched when, what's that say? Mobs were unable to locate it.
Yeah, I think that's him that fished him from the river right here.
So that's a dead body, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was like. There's no way that's alive, right? I've never seen that photo. That's why I was like, hold up, man.
That's crazy. They didn't play back then.
Biased.
Nah.
They didn't play, man. That's fucked up. So that's why they made sure that photo was spread because they wanted people to see the.
Yeah.
Justice shocked the United States and fueled the civil rights movement. Serling was so impacted by the crime that he attempted to use his television platform to create an episode based on this story. However, TV executives and advertisers repeatedly rejected his proposal. Approximately 15,000 letters and telegrams protested the script. Despite changing the murder location and the character's race, producers censored his script, forcing him to change the character to a foreigner and the murderer to a misguided man.
What?
Yeah, well, that was back during the civil rights. They ain't gonna put that on there.
We will not have a civil war on our hands, DK. I will not allow this. All right, you're not gonna get the country unrest on my time. No ways, young man. Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, they still try to do that crap.
It's like
in certain ways.
Man. This is freedom of speech. Here it is.
Yep. Here you go.
Due to this censorship, he conceived the idea of a sci-fi and horror series that could subtly include social commentary. Thus, The Twilight Zone was born.
Hell yeah.
Serling tried again to adapt the story of murder in 1958 with an episode titled A Town Has Turned to Dust, which depicted the lynching of a young Mexican boy in the 19th century American Southwest. These changes distanced the story from the real hate crime, allowing the message about prejudice and injustice to prevail.
And yeah, this is back in the 50s. It's not even, it's like 1958.
It's a creative way to get your message across to an audience and to still abide by the rules. Good boy.
Right.
You can learn a lot from this man right here. He was very smart in what he just did.
Yep.
The Twilight Zone was able to address controversial and deep social issues disguised as sci-fi and horror, allowing Serling to comment on important topics without
That's Robert Redford right there.
Really?
Yep.
direct censorship.
Young
The
man,
series
really.
remains a reference in the genre
Is that?
Says a young man.
Yeah.
and an example of
Young
how
shit.
television can be used to highlight significant social problems. We hope you enjoyed this analysis of the origins of the Twilight Zone. The dedication of its creator to using television as a means for social critique, inspired by the tragic murder of Emmett Till, continues to be a profound influence. Until next time, when we continue exploring the fascinating stories behind your favorite shows. See you soon
Cool,
on
guys.
Screen Rant.
Yeah. So I figured some. I know it's not Friday the 13th, but I saw this and I was like, I mean Friday the 13th movie, but I know a lot of people do
Some
scary
good
movies.
Friday the 13th trivia though, for some cool
Yeah.
shit to know.
Other stuff people haven't seen.
Oh yeah.
And then, well, normally what I've been doing the last thing I do on my streams is a little political, I call it political block. I don't like talking about politics a lot, but with everything going on now, Stephen A. Yeah, Stephen A's been surprising me. He's talking about that senator that try to act all stupid.
And we got 3 words out, maybe. I give him that. If he got 3 words out, I'll clap to those 3 words. After that, he got thrown right out the door. And
Well, here's this. This is Stephen A's take on it.
Here you have this senator, Alex Padilla. Can Christy Noem speak? Could you have waited till she finished to ask your questions? To shout your questions? You are a senator, right? You couldn't wait? So that was just you out of control because you were just losing it up. You, a United States senator, couldn't compose yourself and let the head of Homeland Security finish her thoughts before you asked the question. Couldn't do that, huh?
It's a disruption tactic.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing. He knew there was going to be cameras in there.
They had disruption tactics. He wanted to come in there and try to not let her speak, disrupt her, get his opinion across on a camera. Go do it on your time, not on hers.
Yeah.
You could have came to this building anytime, mate. It's funny how you wait for the federal government to come
If you were
in. Now
Gavin,
it's all political,
Yeah.
Political theory. That's all it is.
Well, this is the last. Well, he's out there trying to say, I said I was, but it still doesn't matter. You can't go in there and rush.
Yeah.
Like you're
Can't
freaking.
No.
Yeah. Freaking idiot, man. Here's one when he's talking about Gavin Newsom.
You were Gavin Newsom. As the Wall Street Journal alluded to, you know what you could have done to alleviate this? Since you want to take the Trump administration to court and say that he had no business federalizing the National Guard, you could have called the National Guard.
Yeah.
You could have made sure that law enforcement throughout the city of Los Angeles had a very strong, vibrant, conspicuous presence where it might have alleviated the possibility.
And she's another one. It's like I just don't understand. They had fires earlier this year in January.
She was out scrubbing the walls yesterday with a rag and a bottle of Lysol, acting like she was scrubbing graffiti off the wall. They caught. I mean, I will send you the message later on. This is the most political theater garbage I've ever seen. You from Florida, DK? You see what your boy down there in Florida said? If this happens down there,
yeah, you can drive. He said,
if they try to surround your car and you got a family with kids in it, just drive.
Yep.
If you want to throw fire bombs at police officers, get ready to have a dog bite you. And after the dog's done biting you, and we're done shooting you and killing you, we'll tell your family where your body's going to be. It's like,
we ain't playing.
Yeah. Bet you not. Bet you they won't.
That's what it says.
Him calling in, Trump calling in the National Guards and the Marines. You could have done that, but you didn't. And because you didn't, you gave him the opening to do it. Because it makes you look like you're weak on crime, you're weak on lawlessness, You're weak on borders. All the things that got him elected, you're playing into sand.
Mm-hmm.
And not only did you do it, Governor Newsom, now Senator Padilla did it. Because we all know you could have waited for her to finish speaking.
And so, yeah, it's a mess, man. It's a big mess, and I guess they're trying to do stuff tomorrow across the country.
You better, Senator Padilla.
Yeah. What's up, Snake? What's up, Snake? Yeah, I didn't even know he was on there, but yeah, I normally try to do that at the end of all my shows. Drop a little politics stuff with everything going on. I'm trying to get deep in it, but right now you got so many people putting out misinformation and not following up on it, on everything. And just I like talking to people that are actually like out in California, like DA and T and Sci-Fax.
That don't happen over here. That don't happen. I mean, in New York, but and I live in North Carolina. They're having like peaceful protests over here, but in Raleigh, but it ain't gonna get like that.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yep. So, but I appreciate you coming on, bro.
Man, thanks for having me, brother.
And I'll try to. I don't know if I'm doing anything tomorrow. I might do something Sunday. Definitely Monday. I'm gonna do one.
Well, happy Friday the 13th. Be safe out there, and I'll catch you next time.
All right, you too, man. All right, bro. Peace out, everyone. Thanks for coming on.